All right. Thank you to everyone for taking time out of your day to join Michael and I as we talk about winning at retention, strategies to reduce cancellation, win back customers, and drive lifetime value. We all know that acquiring customers is getting a lot harder and a lot more expensive. But at the same time, customers have more choices than ever. Switching is easier, competition's one click away, and customer expectations continue to rise. So companies are asking themselves one very important question. How do we keep the customers that we've already worked so hard to acquire? Because here's the new reality. Acquisition gets customers in the door. Retention determines how much value you get out of that relationship. Today, we're going to talk about retention as a revenue strategy, not simply a customer service function. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lauren Kondrowski. I am the head of strategy and innovation here at VXI, where I help Fortune 500 enterprises stop treating CX as a cost center and start running it as a revenue growth engine. Alongside me is my co-host, Michael Aronowitz, who has years of experience helping the leading brands build high-performing sales teams, CX, and revenue generation strategies all across the globe. So, Michael, let's start with the big question. Are companies still thinking about retention as a customer service problem when they should really be thinking about it as a revenue problem?
Yeah, most customers are considered CX when the reality is it shouldn't be there. And it has a lot to do with what we've talked about before with the silos, right? You have your chief revenue officer, you have a chief marketing officer, and you have your chief experience officer. So they all have their own P&Ls. And so that call usually comes in on the customer service line. It looks at it as an expense, but they really should look at it a couple of different ways. One, you've paid for that customer. You've paid a lot of money, so you want to retain it. But you can also retain and upsell and cross-sell.
Yep.
You can also, in subscription models, you can re-sign them up. So long-winded answer, absolutely. We look at it the wrong way all the time.
And why do you feel that retention's more important than ever right now in 2026?
Well, how much time do we have? And think about how hard it is to acquire customers these days and how much money is spent. So let's just say, your average cost per acquisition is a couple of $100. If they don't buy from you 3 or 4 times in the year, you may not actually get that money back. Yep. If it's on a subscription model and you're giving away the first month or 30 days or 7 days free, and they have a bad experience, you're going to be negative, not positive. And so customers are not loyal anymore. No one is loyal as much as they tell you they are. Maybe me with my hotel and my airlines. But when you have a bad experience or things don't go well, now you have your AI engines along with all your search engines. You have reviews and ratings. You just move on and find someone else. What we talked about earlier before it started, I can go into ChatGPT and tell me where's the best blank. If it tells me that's the best blank, I'll go to them. So there needs to be a better focus on retaining customers.
And I would also add too, like those ChatGPT conversations, like they're very specific. Like I'm looking for this and this color, this size at the cheapest. I'll give you an example. So we went back to school a couple of weeks ago. And I took the school supplies list. I took the 4th grade list. I took the 2nd grade list. I said, consolidate it into one list and tell me out of Amazon, Walmart, and Office Max, like who has the cheapest Target, who has the cheapest products. And then boom, it spit out exactly how much, where I can find each product and where it was the cheapest. So, I mean, think about that. Like if you think about what that experience was like before ChatGPT, it's, you're running into Target, you're getting it all there. Now you don't need to because you could just get it ordered right from the site, right to your house. So I think
you see, if they were proactive, Lauren, sorry to interrupt, and they knew it was back to school.
Yep.
And you bought from them last year, and we all know, how many coupons did you get in the mail? How many SMS text messages did you get?
Yeah.
Why did they proactively try to retain you?
Yeah.
And again, it's different verticals, different P&Ls. So, the CX side is not equipped to retain you. And the new side, the chief marketing officer, he's out there trying to get new.
Yeah.
people to
Yeah.
buy from them. We're just not aligned. And so you're the perfect example of that.
Yep.
Companies not being aligned to retain the people who probably spent a couple $100 last year that
I
they
know.
lost.
I know. I know. So I think to me, like, that's probably one of the most important game changers in 2026 and why retention is so important. Which kind of brings me to the next conversation too. Um, why do customers actually leave? And what data signals should companies be looking for before customer actually cancels?
Most customers leave because they have a bad experience.
Yep.
It's the bottom line. And that interaction starts either in voice or chat or
Yep.
email. So, for example, I had a situation with something I bought. I'm a New York Jet fan. Everyone knows. Sorry for me. I know. Feel sorry for me. But someone sent me a gift to buy from this company, and they had New York Jet stuff. And I got it, and it wasn't fitting the right size. So I had a question on it. They told me they'll get back to me between 24 and 48 hours through email. I'm done. I'd never order again. Like, you're done. The second one is when I call and I have a problem, that they try to get me off the phone as fast as possible, right? Because their metric is 600 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to get you in and get you out.
Yep.
And you have some questions and they're like, no, boom, gone. So what starts to happen is that, hey, wait a minute. My average order value is $200. I ordered from you 3 times over the year. Now I had a problem. I spent $800 or $700 and you're trying to get me off the line as quick as possible.
Yep.
Because the agent on the other side has a KPI and a metric. And if they don't get off the phone in 600 seconds, they get dinged.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. And the last one is chat. Well, the poor agents do work in 5 or 6 chats at once. I have a simple question. It takes you 38 seconds for the first answer, and then you're gone.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, 3 minutes later, you pop back up. I've already been gone.
Yeah.
So those are the reasons why. It's a bad interaction. Think of yourself. Like, every time when you go away, you go on a vacation or you go to a rest, like, once you have a bad experience, you're done. Because what I said earlier, you're not loyal anymore. There's too many like businesses.
There is one more channel that you forgot about, which are the review sites.
Absolutely.
When I really have a bad experience, I want the world to know, and I'm going to put that 1-star review out there. Well, the LLMs are pulling those reviews. Like, review sites are a big source for these LLMs. And people are saying, I want the top rated hotel in the Gatlinburg, Tennessee area. And if you don't have good star ratings, you're not going to get pulled. So, like, responding back to those reviews are so critical.
Well, I'll take the reviews a step further, Lauren.
Yeah.
In the past year, I've probably written 20 good reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time, I wrote a really bad one from an experience I had. And of course, when the business saw their bad review, the first thing they do is they reach out to you.
Yep.
It's too late.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do at this point to solve my issue. And to say on that review that we've met and thank you and blah, blah, you're trying to put a spin on it, because I'll never go back there. You can say we reached out but I'm never going back. And the reviews are critical. It's exactly what you said. Now, no one's looking for 5-star reviews. You're looking for problems and things they have. But, if your reviews are under 3, you better reestablish what you're doing again, because you're not retaining customers. So you're spot on that.
Yep. And look at the customer journey. There are some other data points too that our industry can start to look at, which is, one, engagement. Does engagement drop? So are there fewer logins? Are there fewer purchases? Are there fewer app sessions, website visits, interactions? Another one they can look at is product and service usage. Did the customer stop using key features? They can look for, like you said, support friction. Like, this person called in 3 times in a row and, the issue's still not resolved. They can look at sentiments. You can go out in the social media landscape and you could take a look at the sentiment out there. You can take a look at your CSAT scores and try to understand. You can also take a look at the verbatims that customers are using in their transcripts. So customer starts asking questions like, what are my options, or can I downgrade, or what's the cancellation policy? Those aren't good words, right? And you know that they're
Yeah.
thinking about something. So there are so many different data signals that you have to wrap your head around, and then figure out, one, this is also another good point that we'll hit on is, um, it's one thing to be reactive. It's another to be proactive when it comes to retention. Like if you know these things ahead of time, proactively reach out to that customer,
Well, that goes
right?
back to what you said, the data. So, who's your data analytics team and what are they looking at? And
Yep.
most of them are looking at average handle time,
Yep.
first call resolution,
CSAT.
CSAT.
Yeah.
The question that they really should be looking at is why did they reach out in the first place? Why did they call? Why did they chat? Why did they send an email? And
Yep.
fix the problem. But they don't fix the problem. They just focus on that first call resolution. That agent wants to be measured. And then for whatever reason, 6 or 7 days, they come back again and they
Yeah.
cancel. They don't tie the two together. So, yes, it was a first call resolution. And then
Yep.
7 days later, they canceled. You know why? Because they said, don't worry, Lauren, you know what? We're going to give you another free month.
Yep.
Is that okay? And you go, yeah, I'll stay on free for another month. Doesn't cost me anything. And guess what? As September 1st rolls around, right? You know that's coming for the next ding. You hit what's called click to cancel and you're out.
Yeah.
So they got it under 600 seconds. They had first call resolution. They gave you something for nothing and they lost you. So it actually wound up costing you more.
Yeah.
Because they didn't try to upsell, cross-sell you, change your subscription, or spend more time with you as a customer to understand what your value proposition and what you're looking for.
Yep.
This is why I go back to the silos. Your CX team sitting over there, your marketing team sitting over there, your operations team sitting over there. They don't share the data because all they're looking at is your contact center as a cost factor.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's a revenue driver if you do it right.
Now, and I think the answer is yes. Have you ever had a proactive wow moment? And I think you told me one a couple weeks ago when you were traveling and you had a situation in one of the hotels.
So I was in Austin. We had a meeting. Meeting went well. Went out to dinner. It was really one of those great nights, and
Yep.
the unfortunate part is I had to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight back.
Brutal.
I turned the shower on and just thinking, I'm on the 5th floor, whatever. It's going to take a while to get hot. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by. Like, I don't have any time. The Uber's going to be down there. So I jump in the shower and it's ice cold. And I come down the elevator and I see Amanda and she smiles at me and goes, cold shower? I'm like, you too? Yeah. So later that day, I get an email from the hotel manager. Sorry for the inconvenience. Gave me 4,000 points. Later that day, because I'm a ambassador member, I got 8,000 points. That's brand loyalty. That's before I call. That's the manager came in. He knows this guy's traveling. He knows at some point he's able to make the decision. He reached out and again, Marriott steps up and saves me as a customer.
Yep.
And that's great retention.
Yep.
That's solving the problem before it becomes a problem.
Yep.
Thought leadership, trained in people, saying there's a value on Michael, and that value, look, at the end of the day, 4,000 points is not going to make a significant difference to me or them or anyone else. It's the point.
Yep.
And that's what more companies need to do.
Yep. Trained and empowered to do what's right for the customer. I want to talk a little bit too about, when you think retention and you think customer service retention, a lot of times agents are just, like you said, like, it would saving you. What if I gave you 5% off? What if I gave you 10% off? Like there's a particular satellite radio brand that I think is known for this. Like people know the gimmick, like, all right, I just got a call and then they'll adjust it down. So the thing is, like, in your opinion, Michael, is there anything else outside of the discount that brands could do to save these customers?
It's a very difficult question to ask. What am I doing right with the customers versus what am I doing wrong? And what I mean by that, it's easy to find out all the things you do wrong because they tell you. But what are we doing right that customers continue to come back to us? They continue to buy with us. They continue to renew the subscription. Why? Going back to the why. And they don't spend enough time connecting the dots, saying, Lauren renewed. Michael didn't. Was there a reason? Did Michael not have the car anymore? Oh, Michael still owns the car. Why didn't Lauren? And it goes back to what you said is usage.
Yep.
Right? It's understanding that, hey, if Michael usage on a subscription product, whatever that may be, or a SaaS product, is getting lower and lower each month, he's already moved on.
Yeah.
But Lauren is using it. So going back to the data, why are they not reaching out to Michael? Most companies don't know what they do right, but they all know what they do wrong. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true.
Yeah. I'll give an example. Like if you see usage decline, why not proactively reach out to them with some education, some
because
training?
They're scared.
Some,
because that's the
right?
fear
Like,
factor.
Yeah. Yes. It goes a long, long way.
Yeah, but that may cost money, Lauren. Like if I have agents doing outbound calling on people, that may cost a few dollars.
But it saves a whole heck of a lot of customers.
If they're trained properly,
if they
can upsell and cross-sell,
yep,
yeah, absolutely.
Yep, exactly.
But how many times do we build outbound programs where we say, okay, let's just try this. Take those 7 agents that are really good, have them do outbound for a week. Oh, it didn't work, move them back because there was no plan.
Yeah. I'll give another example. I'm going to give big props to Chewy. When my dog passed away, they sent me flowers and a note, handwritten. I'm so sorry for your loss. I am a loyal Chewy customer for life after that. Like that, like me, I'm a dog person and dogs are family. And that one was really, really, really tough on me. And so lo and behold, when I get my next dog, like I will continue to buy from Chewy. So, that's a really good example, of being proactive, of creating a moment of wow that makes me want to stick with that brand.
Now, this may sound morbid, but most companies would be like, well, she lost a pet. She's not going to be buying from us for a while. So let's just move on.
I know.
But they're taking the other approach of investing in you as a customer to keep you, making the assumption that you will get another pet at some time. And they'll come back to you. And that this is, again, when you align the organization, that if there's a lull, out of sight, out of mind. But no, it's no different than when you just said about back to school. Like someone should have been thinking, okay, that's an existing customer. She has young kids. I can't lose the business to either one company or the other. So, hey, inflation, things have gone up, but your average, my kids haven't been in school in a while, but you spend a couple $100 on kids each back to school. So it's worth investing.
Yeah. So at the end of September, I'll be at Execs in the Know Customer Response Summit talking about this very topic, which is customer assurance. Like customers want to know, is the brand going to do right by me when something goes wrong? Right? Do I trust this brand? And doing these kind of retention strategies help you build more trust. They do, like being proactive and reaching out ahead of time. It's wow, they're on top of it. They're paying attention to me. They care about me.
Let me give you an example of that. So I get marketed all the time. I don't know why, but I do. It's because I love good marketing. And I won't say the brand name, but there's a suitcase that you can stack it. It's like stackable.
Yeah.
And then you zip it down, it goes in your suitcase. That ripped.
Yeah.
So I reached out. They told me they don't have any more. And just as I was ready to yell, you don't have any more, they said, but don't worry, we're going to send you a whole new suitcase.
Oh, wow.
Customer for life.
Right by you. Yep.
So they were out of.
You're going to tell, you were going to go and you're going to tell
all the people.
Yes.
Out of the little stackable storage thing, Rather than me waiting 4 or 5 weeks or three, whatever it was, even in 3 days, they said, don't worry, we're going to send you out a brand new suitcase. Like, what do
Yeah.
I do with the other suitcase? Keep it.
Yeah.
So again, customer for life. Someone was able to, on that side of the phone, understand that, yeah, what you just said, I'm going to tell 10 people this suitcase is great. And guess what? If there's a problem,
Yeah.
that's good retention agents.
Yep. Let me
Many
ask you
companies.
this. Let me ask you this. So, everybody, this whole industry, everybody is turning to AI.
Yeah.
Does AI have its place in the retention ballgame?
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that AI bot, and I'll give you a really good example. I purchased a very well-known athletic clothing subscription. Love this brand. And they, every month they'll send you out boxes or you can pause it or whatnot. It got to the point where I'm good. I have a lot right now. I'm good. So I called in to cancel my subscription, got greeted with a bot. It was an effortless experience, canceled my subscription, but I thought to myself, like, I mean, I really love this brand. And so if it would have been a human on the other end of the line, asking me like, "Hey, why are you canceling? Oh, did you know you could pause?" Right? Like
Yeah.
like, I mean, even something as simple as that, but like, you know, that human would have learned how much I love the brand and maybe could have said, "Oh, would you mind, giving us a great review?" Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Right? There's things that there's two sides of this coin, and I'm
So
curious to see what your thoughts are.
some companies want a frictionless cancel,
Yep.
right? Because they assume you're going to come back.
Yep.
Other companies invest in certain AI tools that we talked about earlier, right? So I'm going to contradict myself. Certain bots, certain tools, certain co-pilots, certain
Yep.
knowledge bases could probably get you in and out in 600 seconds and save you an upsell and do something exactly what you just said. So where are you investing your money? Are you investing on the front end for voice deflection? Or are you investing it to make your agents quicker, faster, more efficient, understanding the same problems? Where certain things happen, certain delays come in, certain weather. And so, yeah, AI is very much needed in retention, but it's
Yeah.
needed in the right areas. And it's
Yep.
exactly what you said. It's coaching an agent to find out why. Ask
Yep.
this question, ask that. So it's a delicate balance, right? And it goes back to, again, where have everybody aligned? Like, we spend so much money on AI tools on the front end that we in your model, like, they look and they say, okay, she paid, it was $185 a month for 7 months. Well, that's a month longer than the average customer sticks. So she was a great customer.
Yeah.
Why are we not trying to understand why they're canceling at 6 months and thinking 7 is great? If
Yeah.
it's a great product, maybe they should do what you said. Like, okay, guess what? Including in the membership, you're allowed to have 1 or 2 months off. Like,
Yeah.
there's, I mean, so many creative ways to do things. So
And I'll give you one more example is I was chatting with my dad who called into a subscription company and got greeted by the bot. And, the bot offered the percentage off. He said no. The bot offered a deeper percentage off. He still ended up saying no. And then it said, okay, we'll cancel you. Well, guess what? People are smart. They're taking that experience, they're going out to Reddit and they're posting about it. So now
yeah,
other people know, all right, you just gotta say no twice and they'll give you the bigger discount. Again, it starts to become a game. So I think part of your retention strategy needs to be understanding, like, when do we be more proactive? When do we offer the discount? When do we offer education? When do we make it a human? When do we make it a bot? Like, there's a lot at play here when you're
it's
designing these experiences that you got to think through.
it's so much more difficult to cancel something with a human than a bot.
Mhm. Mhm.
People buy from people they like and trust. People may cancel. So, but again, we're in an industry where people are looking to cut costs, cut corners, and understand of call deflections and what we're thinking to do that. So what most people don't understand is retention is a sale.
Yep.
And it's the hardest sale of all, because
Yep.
you have to sell something, a product or a service that someone decided on Thursday that they don't want anymore. They pick up the
Yep.
phone, they wrote an email, they did a chat and said, I don't want your product anymore. I want to cancel. That's it. I want to return it. I don't want it anymore. And so that agent, most of the time, isn't trained properly, isn't put in the right position. Selling something to someone that definitely doesn't want your product, again, the hardest thing whatsoever. And so that's why many companies fail as a retention, because it first starts with people. And they look at this and they go, well, let's just get them off and get them in and get them out. They'll come back. How many times have we heard that? They'll come back.
Yep.
Maybe 5 or 10 years ago, people don't come back. Like
there's too many options.
People just don't come back. Like, for example, and this is a little bit different than subscription, but you and I were in a restaurant the other night. They screwed up your food. Can they have gone over and above like what they did?
Oh my God. Yeah, I will definitely be back to that restaurant.
Of course. Like that's, but if they said something else and, oh, sorry, you ordered it this way, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
They know the value. Like certain people know the value of a customer, certain don't.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yep. Now I will say, where is one place that AI plays really well is understanding like the personalized offers, right? So if you look at my purchase history for this clothing company, right, you understand I really like a particular kind of legging. I really like a particular color. I really like I'm pretty consistent with what I purchase. They could have presented me an offer, knowing my history, that I probably would have said yes to, because I'm pretty predictable. So using AI to help with retention offers to make them dynamic, what Mike likes is different, what Lauren likes, like it's, that I think is a really good use case, for AI particularly. Go ahead.
The thing with AI, it comes down to what AI tools are we investing in? And so again, lining the CFO with the CRO and the CMO and all these other ones starts to get to the point of how do you measure the ROI of these tools? And things take time. So what I would say is, yes, invest in those tools, but go back again, who's your data analytics person on this account and show the value of certain things.
Yeah. And I want to talk really quick here about win back, because you can't talk about retention without talking about win back. And it's such a dramatically different area, a much harder area when it comes to retention, because these are customers that already said goodbye. And now you are trying to win back their business. So in your experience, what makes a win back campaign successful?
Well, the first thing you have to understand is if we're doing a win back campaign with voice on an outbound, this is where AI and scripting comes in right away and helps. There has to be a reason for your call. Mm-hmm. If I have to call up and go, hi, Lauren, this is Michael from so-and-so, you're most likely going to go click. That first 8 to 15 seconds is the most critical time in that conversation of the reason why you're called. And if you don't open up with a thank you, you're most likely going to get hung up versus, Lauren, I just want to thank you for being an existing customer. Lauren, I want to thank you for being a former customer. It's knowing what you wear and what you bought. Mm-hmm. So many times we just load up data, throw it at a dialer, and just start dialing.
Yeah.
And you talk to the agent, like, I got hung up 15 times today. Yeah. They didn't want you then. What makes you think you would want them now? Mm-hmm. And so the first thing is, the opening conversation. And then the second thing is what value are you offering them to come back? What is the value? Mm-hmm. And I can tell you about a campaign that I worked on one time for WinBack. And it was, it's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. And it was for, an AI yellow page company. So they wanted us to call back people who they let their subscription, because, it was monthly, or they did one campaign. So it was anybody who hasn't purchased in a year. This thing went live. We knew in 2 days we were done, because we're calling on people that paid $2,500 and got 3 phone calls. We're calling on people that were expecting certain things to happen. They got dedicated 800 numbers. The phone didn't ring. They spent money for services that didn't work. So what made them think that they would call them again and you spend another 1,000 with me? Oh, no, we have more customers. We've changed our algorithm. So it was the wrong approach. If they took the approach of calling up and saying, Lauren, I want to give you a free 10 days and show you how many phone calls we can drive for you, and then have a conversation, it would have been different. How did I know that? Because everybody on the call was telling us, you know what? If you do it for free, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to having that conversation of what's the why. Now, if you're doing win back on email, you may as well give up. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
And people do it all the time. I get them all the time. Come back. Listen, do you know why I left? Like, you want me to come back? Like,
yeah.
So,
This is my thoughts on win back. Like, if I canceled yesterday, right, and I'm a really angry, upset customer, a lot of times these customers just want to feel heard. Something a bot can't do. So if I call that customer back the next day and say, I'm Lauren with the leadership team at XYZ brand, your case came across my desk and we messed up, and I want to apologize firsthand, and I want you to know how much we value you, and I'm really sorry. Right? Like that to me, like, all right, thank you. Like, first off, wow, you're paying attention to your data. Like, it didn't end there. My case came across your desk, right? If you took that kind of approach, you're going to feel heard, and your chances of winning that customer's trust back just got higher.
There's a flip side of win back. And so, in the world of, TV, internet, phone, home security, these other things where people leave to get a better deal, to get a better offer, to get a first 3 months free, 2 months, whatever that might be. Certain subscriptions that we talked about, you may move from a radio to an online music station. What you have to find out is that did they get value? So sometimes consumers leave because they didn't have a bad experience, but they got a great promotion.
Yep.
If I was able to reduce my internet from $200 a month to $50 for 3 months, okay, goes back to some data, but looking or not. But when I call up and find out, okay, now that the promotion ended, are you happier? Is it better? Is it not working? That's the best way to win a customer back, is to understand, are they happy? The value that goes into training. But many a times when we do successful win back campaigns is because the promises they received, they did not get. Yep. And if we don't make that phone call, we probably don't get them back. But when we make it and we ask them the question, were you happy? Did it work? They say no. And then we can offer them a promotion to come back. It's a grand slam. Yeah. And so again, it comes back to the data, knowing your customer, getting the marbles out of your mouth. Thank you for being a former customer. Thank you. We really value your service. And then things get rolling.
Yeah. Michael, you and I could probably talk about this topic for, honestly, another couple hours. But I'm paying attention to the time, and there are a couple of questions that came in. So I want to get to the questions before we kind of wrap things up here. One person said, what is the biggest mistake that companies make when trying to retain customers?
They try to offer something for free. Because free has no value.
Yep.
So I'll take it.
Yep.
We didn't solve anything. It's like, it's free.
Yep.
That goes back to a bad experience at a restaurant. The meal was really bad. They took it off the bill. You still don't go back.
Yeah.
You just remember the bad meal.
Yeah.
How about next meal on me? Again, the hotel situation. Like, if they would have given me a free, I'm not there anymore. I'm not going back there. They have no hot water. Oh,
Yeah.
you gave me points. They apologize. So it's free doesn't work. It just doesn't.
Yeah. The next question is, if you had 90 days to improve retention, where do you focus first?
I focus on the data. I
I agree
want
with
to
that.
understand why the trends, what's happening. If it's a subscription model, what I talked about earlier, and our average customer stays on 6 months, I want to understand why our average customer stays on 6 months. Get some competitive analysis. But it starts with the data and understanding the why. Was it shipping issues? I mean, there's so many different things, but it starts out with the why.
There's one more question that just came in. What retention metric do you think companies are overlooking?
They're overlooking the amount of new revenue they could bring in or how they're reducing their cost per acquisition.
And
So
I'll also add the cancellation rate, right? So to your point, you can retain and save, then 30 days later they're canceling. Did they really save? I think that one too
well, they're
is,
not measuring the free. A lot of people don't measure the free, and it has
yeah,
to do with KPIs, right? So they measure
yeah,
saves. So let's get back to like contact center world, right?
yeah,
100 calls come in, and they're looking for a save rate of 37%, and the
yeah,
save rate is 52%. Your partner's crushing it. They have a save rate of 52%. Their cancellation rate next month is 39%, up from 25.
yeah,
Why?
yeah,
They gave you free, they saved. Agent got a save rate. Agent got a save rate. Center got a save rate. We're killing it on save rate. Cancellation went up.
yep,
If you
yep,
don't track the two back to each other too, because the call may have came into a different center. So again, going back to the data, right? Company A has a save rate of 52%. The poor company B that's getting a lot of these calls, right? Their save went down and their cancellation went up because they're not measuring first-time callers or second-time callers. They're just measuring callers. Could be hours of operations, could be language, could be location, right? We're not actually going back to say that, you know what, I saved Lauren last month. Now it went over to another center and they weren't able to save Lauren. So their KPI looks bad. Marrying that data together is key in the whole situation.
yep. And I know we're a little past time here, so I'll kind of wrap things up and say this. If I leave the audience with one thing, it's this. It's acquisition gets you the customer. It's retention that determines the value of the relationship. And the brands that win won't simply be the ones that are the best at preventing cancellations. They'll be the ones that give customers more reasons to stay, more reasons to come back, more reasons to grow with them. So proactive, wowing them, it's so important. Being human, building trust, that's what's going to matter down the future. Michael, I don't know if you have any last closing thoughts.
I would say knowing your customer. Quick story. We went away for our anniversary. We used one of the online reservation services. We had 3 meals over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Each one asked special occasion. We wrote anniversary. 2 out of the 3 went over and above to bring us cake and cookies and all these different factors. The third one couldn't care less if it was our anniversary, birthday. They just couldn't care less. And so when you measure the 3 in a geo of 5 or 7 miles, which 2 are you going to go back to and which one you're not? And so when they try to win me back as a customer with an email, because somewhere in the line they're like, hey, Michael and Elena went, but they haven't been here for 6 months. Michael and Elena aren't coming back.
Yeah.
You had your shot. Your other 2 places blew you out of the water.
Yeah.
It goes back to, what value do you put on your customers? And I'll close with this. The marketing department has a cost per acquisition. Stop looking at the CX as a cost and start looking at that, how they can drive more revenue, lower your cost per acquisition, and create a higher lifetime value for your customers. And thank you so much today again, Lauren.
Yeah, well said, Michael. I want to thank everyone one last time for joining us during this LinkedIn Live, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Have a great rest of your afternoon.